So we're going to start down on the ground, on our back. We're going to start with some glute bridges, dropping those feet into the ground, lifting those hips, squeezing those glutes. We'll be working quite a bit on the back side today, so make sure it's nice and primed. Good way to get that low back involved as well. Getting a slight hold at the top of each of these reps. Just focus again on that squeeze, that contraction. Two more here. Feel those hamstrings getting fired up as well. And we'll roll it up. All right. Staying in a nice tall position, we're going to get our hinge. Focus a little bit more on those hamstrings. We're going to do something a little bit different. You're going to take one elbow, put that into one of your knees. And we're going to rotate up, a little T-spine rotation happening. Same time we're getting that hamstring stretch. So we'll pull that back to center, undo our hinge, rehinge, and we'll put that other elbow into the other knee, and rotate up. Hold for a breath or so, pull that rotation back, and unhinge. All right, I'm going to do one more each side there. Just focus again, stretching out, keeping that hinge nice and active as we stretch through that low back, through that mid back. Really returning to that hinge, putting some emphasis on it. Last one here. And bring it up. All right, last little prep movement. Do some lunges with a knee hug. So we're going to step that one of those feet back into a nice, good, strong lunge. We're going to pull that up into a quick little knee hug, stretching out that glute. We're going to do about 4 or 5 each side here, taking this bit in control, not going fast, making sure that we do get a nice little hug at the top. Do one more this side. We're doing quite a bit of single leg stuff in our first circuit. Go ahead and switch legs. So we'll make sure that balance is there. We'll make sure that those muscles are getting warm. Really sinking deep into that lunge, focus on keeping that weight in that front foot. Let's go one more time on this side. And relax. All right, game plan today. Like I said, we're going to start with a bunch of single leg stuff. So kind of 2 different movements to focus on. We're going to do some single leg jumps combo with an RDL hold. All right, a little bit of plyometric power, explosiveness, comboed with some stability and balance. So what that's going to look like on that single leg, we're just going to load into that leg and jumping up. All right, trying to find that balance as we come back down. If you need to land with that other foot, that's totally fine. All right, if we're coming up here, that's fine. Just loading on that one leg and coming down, no issue with that. So we're gonna hit those, and then we're gonna come into our nice RDL stability position. Okay, so we'll do that the same leg for each of those movements, and then we'll flip to the other leg. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready. Pick your favorite leg, whichever one you want to. First round, I'm going to start off a little bit lower intensity. So not jumping out of the ceiling here, but we're going to load those hips back and then jumping up. All right, so kind of reset after each rep here. We're not going to be doing necessarily continuous jumps once you think about each leg kind of individually, or each rep individually. My word is one more here. And then we'll take that same leg that you're just exploding off of and keep that leg down for a nice little RDL hold. And do about a 20-second hold on this leg. What I really want to focus is stretching out that backside. We're just using those hamstrings, those glutes, to kind of forcefully contract, create that power, And we're going to challenge it a little bit differently in stability. So we're kind of hitting a wide spectrum here. We'll go last 5 seconds here. And we'll relax. We'll go ahead and switch out to the other leg. All right, starting with those jumps. And as you start getting a little bit more warmed up, we can focus on finding that balance a little bit more. My right side is a little more coordinated than the left. So I'm going to try to start honing in on that balance here on the landing of these jumps. So 2 more. And again, I'm not really trying to focus on jumping to the ceiling here. Just a nice little stimulus to get us going. Well, let's go ahead and get to that RDL, same leg down as was just jumping. We're going to find that balance. The leg that's extended behind us, we want to make sure that that heel is kicking to that back wall. All right, we're nice and strong in that back leg. We're not just holding it up, but we're actively putting some effort into it. Find that balance. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. That's a little break before we go to our second round of that. We're just going to do a little nice plank walkout or an inchworm. So we'll get that hinge. We'll stretch both of those legs at the same time. A good roll down to the ground, and we'll gently lock those arms out. Just a good chance to stretch those legs, pushing those heels to that ground. We're just going to do 3 reps here. Take it as slowly as you need to. Focus again on that stretch. Really emphasizing those heels into the ground for as much of that walkout as we possibly can hold. And roll it up. All right, I'm going to go back to the top here. That's the first leg that you start on. This second round, we can focus on a little bit more explosiveness. You should have a little bit more of that, primed system, I guess, ready for the demand that we're going to put on it. So let's get to that single leg. Let's drive back and exploding up. Again, I'm going to focus on that stability because I'm a big fan of balance and coordination. So if we can launch with one leg and land on one leg, all the better benefit for us. So yeah, the second round feels a lot better. All right, 2 more. Last one. All right, we'll go ahead and hold that same leg, driving right back, supersetting into this RDL hinge. From our airplane position, if you want to, you can bring those arms up as well. Focus on some upper back postural adjustments. I know that posture is certainly taking a hit here this last nearly 12 months. So we're going to hold here, last 2, 1, and relax. Check that out. Should feel some work going on in that leg. We'll go ahead and switch to the other side, starting with those jumps. Let's see it. And if we can get to that single leg balance, all the better. And I am using those arms, kind of help generate some momentum. 2 more. Helps kind of find a flow. And relax. We'll bring that into that RDL. Feel a little bit more solid on here. So this down leg, this knee, we don't want this totally locked out. We do want a very slight bend, we'll call it a soft knee. So we're not relying on the bony structure of the knee here. We are engaged through that quad, through that hamstring, to kind of solidify that knee. We're using the muscles to stabilize, which is kind of the whole point here of where stability and where balance comes from, is those minute, go ahead and relax, those small muscles around our joints, around our ankle, around our knees, to help us with that single leg balance, help us walking, especially when it's icy out, and you don't have that control, so we can stay on our feet. All right, so we'll go one more time on those walkouts, that hinge, inchworm, whatever you want to call it. I want you to really focus on pushing those hips back, getting as much length through those hamstrings as possible, and walking that out. One hand in front of the other, and walking it back. Again, just 3 reps on this one. Think about this as our mobility in between our power and our stability. Very well-rounded workout here today. One more time. Let's walk that out. And walking back, pushing those heels down. And roll it up. All right. So we're going to move forward a little bit of a conditioning circuit here. We're going to do a little bit of cardio work combined with some isometric holding. So we have 3 movements. We have our good old-fashioned jumping jacks. Not going to demo those. We have, our Thursday special. We've got our lateral bounds. So from one side to the other, focus on a little bit more quickness. So that's our lateral power on that single leg. And then we're going to do some wide push-up holds. So we're your typical push-up, am I in the frame? We're your typical push-up positions here. We're just going to slide those hands out a little bit, and we'll drop that down into a low hold. All right? So we're going to do a couple rounds here, 30 seconds apiece on these 2 movements, and we're just going to have a quick 10 seconds in between each movement. All right, we're trying to get 3 rounds in here. Ready for it? Let's go ahead. Let's get it. Jumping jacks. Here we go. We haven't done a whole lot to get that heart rate up. So this first one right here, these jumping jacks, just to get some, we've got some blood pumping already, but a lot of heart to get involved. It is Healthy Heart Month here. If you've been following us on social media, we've been all about some heart health. Last 2, 1, and relax. So we'll get a quick break. Find the side of your space. We're going to go into those lateral bounds. Getting ready in 3, 2, 1, go. We're going to try to be, try not to slide on the mat, but we're going to try to be quick back and forth. Trying to spend as little time on the ground as possible here. Line on those feet. Here we go, here we go. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. Quick 10-second break. Then we're going to go into that wide push-up hold. 30-second hold. Get down, get ready. And 3, 2, 1, go. So we're going to try to get as close to the ground as possible here. If we need to get to those knees to hold, that's certainly a good strong modification. Trying to get some squeezing in that chest, almost like you're trying to clap your hands underground here. You got 5, last 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, we'll get that 10-second break. We're going to go up, back to those jumping jacks, round number 2. Ready, 2, 1, go. So second round, we're going to try to step this up a little bit. Just bring that intensity, that next notch. Move that body, move that body. We've got 10 seconds. And those arms all the way up overhead. Feet out nice and wide. Nice, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, we're going to do lateral bounds here. Hopefully the mat will stick to the ground. Ready, and 2, 1, go. Ooh. Let's try it without the mat. Try it on the ground. See if that'll work. There we go. All right, nice and light on those feet, folks. Make sure you got safety under those feet so we're not sliding anywhere. Back and forth, under 10. We go last 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, move this back. Here we go, those wide push-up holds. Go ahead and drop down on the ground. 30-second hold. And 2, 1, go. Try to be strong down there on the ground. Think about constantly pushing into the ground. Making sure those abs are pulled tight. We can pull that up a little bit if we need to. Find somewhere to hold 10 seconds. We got it right there. Last 5. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. Whew. We got one more round here. Gonna finish strong right here in our conditioning. Ready, jumping jacks in 2, 1, go. Moving that body. Come on. Last time through these. We're gonna bring that tempo up one more notch. This final round. We got 10 seconds. Big motion in those arms. Come on, last 3, 2, 1, and time. Ooh, heart rate's up. Feel it. I'm breathing. Breathing, I'm still alive. All right, I'm gonna move this mat out of the way. We're gonna get ready for those lateral bounds in 2, 1. Let's do it. Back and forth last time. Again, trying to stay on the ground for as little time as possible. Back and forth, back and forth. Here we go. Nice and light. Come to 10 seconds. Kind of throwing those arms hip to hip. Lead that momentum. Last 2, 1, and time. Ooh, take a quick break. Move it down to the ground. Final round of these push-ups. And 3, 2, 1, go. It's always challenging coming after a cardio movement to bring that heart rate, that breathing under control to hold isometric movement, such as these push-ups. Nice and wide, hold them strong. We got it, under 10. Keep pushing. Hold it up. Last 5. Last 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right. Nice work. We got one finishing set here. So if you're here a little bit early, I mentioned if you have a mini band, to go ahead and grab that. If you don't have a mini band, totally fine. We can do work without it. But we're gonna do a little glute burner here to finish up today's class. All right. So we're gonna slide our mini band just above our knees. All right. So here's my kneecaps. Mini band is just above my kneecaps. So we're gonna do a little bit of variety on these mini band movements. So we're gonna start with a pretty simple lateral walk. All right. So again, if you don't have a mini band, you can certainly do this, the exact same movement, just without that extra resistance. Totally fine. It'll work just fine. So we're going to get in our good athletic position towards one side of our mat or our workout space. And we're going to drive those knees apart against that band. Should feel those glutes kind of fired up. And if you don't have a band, still driving those knees apart. Okay? We're going to try to keep that distance between those knees, continually driving those knees apart. So whatever your lead foot is going this way, we're going to step forward with that lead foot, just like you're stepping over a deck of cards. All right? Back foot's going to follow, same distance. Front foot, deck of cards, back foot, deck of cards. All right, small step, small step. So we're just going to push to one end of that mat, and then we're going to go back the other way with that lead foot, lead foot, back foot. All right, so notice my feet are never getting closer than shoulder width apart. Go ahead and relax there. So make sure that we're not stepping together and stepping out. So all the tension of the band is now gone. We want to make sure those feet stay apart. Very small steps. All right, let's go ahead and keep that band on. Jump to the ground. We're going to hit some glute bridges with some abduction. This may be a little more difficult to show. So we're going to bridge those hips up. And we're going to push those knees apart against that band. All right, bring those knees back together, drop those hips down. So bridge up, knees apart, knees together, back down. So we're just going to get 8 reps here of this nice controlled movement. Bridging up, again, no band, no problem. We're going to still do these bridges with abduction here. Certainly feel those glutes more active when we push those knees apart, that abduction away from that center line. We got one more here. And back down. All right, let's bring it back up to our feet. We're going to switch over. We're going to do some forward walks. So I'm going to do this at the camera. So we're going to get in that same athletic position. Instead of stepping to the side, we're going to step forward. All right, nothing too crazy here. We're just going to kind of creep forward a few steps, and then we're going to creep it backwards. All right, those knees are still pushing out against that band that entire way. All right, so we're going to go 2 times forward, 2 times backwards. Should feel those glutes getting real fired up, depending on the resistance of that band. We're going to walk in nice, good athletic position. Nice and light on those feet. Once you get back, relax. We'll bring it back down to the ground. One more round of glute bridges on this backside burner to finish. All right, so bridging up, drive those knees apart, back and back. So big, like I said, glute burner here. That's going to be the primary focus. Should feel the outside of those hips getting some love here as we finish this workout. We've got 4 more reps on these. Stay strong, get those hips up high. Make sure those glutes are getting as much engagement as we possibly can give them. We've got last 2 reps here. We can give a little bigger squeeze on these final 2. Make sure we're getting our money's worth here. Last time, squeeze, 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 and back down. All right. Ooh, we're going to slide that band off where we are done with it. I'll bring it up, stand it up, shake it out, and that is going to do it. Appreciate you folks for joining me for some full body blast. We'll be back in just a minute for some abs class. Grab some water, but don't go too far. We'll see you soon.